Renee, turn that music down!
Mrs. B, don't be such a buzzkill! Enjoy the party, girl! Mrs. B looked at me like I just set her hair on fire. Though honestly, anything would have been better than that wig. It legit looked like a bird had moved in and started a family.
This is history class!
History, schmistery? No one's gonna remember your lesson. But this party? Oh, they'll remember this. She was about to explode, and honestly, it's kinda hilarious. I mean, this is high school, and do you know who's running the show? Me. Hi, welcome to Confession Diary. My name's Renee. I wasn't always the rule-breaking, Sweet 16 rebel you see now. Once upon a time, I was a straight-A, glasses-wearing nerd. But trust me, you're totally gonna wanna grab some popcorn so I can give you the inside scoop. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I lived with the weirdest parents on the planet. Mom was obsessed with weight loss programs, and Dad? He wasn't just a salesman. He was a legend. How so, you ask? Let me tell you. So when I was 5, Dad took me to the dentist, and instead of sitting quietly like a normal parent, he pulled out a stash of sample toothbrushes he had collected over the years to sell. Even the goldfish in the waiting room tank stopped swimming to judge us.
Ooh, look at all of this bristle action. And price, a bargain.
I know, super embarrassing, right? But here's the thing, every single toothbrush was sold before I even sat in the dental chair. And Mom, though, she was no less. She took humiliation to a whole new level. One time during parent-teacher night when I was 7, one minute Mrs. Hills was explaining my grades, and the next, Mom had her squeezed into a waist trainer like she was auditioning for a 1700s corset ad.
By the time I'm done with you, you'll be snatched. Now suck that gut in.
Mrs. Hill, on the verge of tears. Me, on the verge of calling child services on myself. So, thanks to my parents, we were basically the weirdos on the block. No one wanted to be my friend, and starting middle school was pretty lonely. Deep down, all I really wanted was a friend my own age. Someone to laugh with, share secrets with, even maybe have sleepovers. It stung more than I'd ever admit. So I buried myself in my studies and became the perfect student. And every time I got a good grade, I'd run to show Mom. Look, Mom, I got another A on my science project.
Sweetheart, the only experiment you need to run is figuring out how to dodge carbs. Your waistline is looking chunky.
Me? Chunky? How could that be when Mom never lets me eat what I want? The last time we went to the supermarket, they were handing out chocolate samples and I was this close to finally tasting freedom. But no, Mom smacked it right out of my hand like I'd committed a federal crime.
Chocolate? Oh no, you're not gonna add a second chin on my watch.
And then if Mom's insults weren't enough, Dad sold my limited edition chess set, the one I won in a competition. I was fuming. Oh, Dad, that wasn't yours to sell.
Oh, relax, kiddo. If it's under my roof, it's fair game. Plus, it's not like you were gonna make millions with your rook tonight moves anyway.
Other families seemed so perfect, and here I was stuck with two crazy people who didn't care how their words and actions affected me. I felt neglected, invisible, and alone. But when I hit 13, it was like someone flipped the script on my life. It all started with a smell. Not Mom's swamp sludge smoothie kind of smell. This was the mouth-watering aroma of grilled chicken. A food I'd never tasted because, according to Mom, protein equals pounds and pounds equal disaster. My nerd brain wanted to calculate how fast I could steal a piece without being caught, but my stomach, yeah, it hit override. I saw the grill, and without even thinking, I snatched a piece of chicken right off it. Hot, 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 hot! Hey, you! Chicken thief, stop! I froze, panic rushing through me. Chicken still in hand, heart pounding, I bolted down the street like a fugitive on the run. I was halfway down the block when I felt something tight wrap around my waist, and suddenly I was yanked off my feet. What in the frickin' universe? The chicken flying out of my hand like a hot potato, and I hit the ground. Ugh! And all I saw was this girl standing there with her hand on her hips and the angriest look on her face. Gotcha! There I was going from weirdo to criminal. My career as a future valedictorian washing down the drain because of a piece of chicken. I wasn't sure whether to laugh or cry. Are you crazy? You stole my chicken! Perfectly seasoned lemon pepper marinated piece of heaven on earth chicken! My brain went into total panic. I've never had chicken before. It smelled so good and... Wait, what? Her anger switched to confusion faster than a Wi-Fi signal drops. I've never tasted chicken. My mom is a total health freak. Kale chips, tofu, vegan cheese. Her face then softened just a little. You've seriously never tasted chicken? I nodded solemnly as if confessing a life-altering secret. Then I spilled the tea about my wacky parents, my voice cracking dramatically because, let's be real, this was my Oscar moment. She stared at me for a long moment, then sighed like I was the world's biggest headache. Fine. You're forgiven. This time. Really? I jumped to my feet, nearly slipping in my excitement. Yeah. So, here's the thing. That piece of chicken fell. Do you think I could have another piece? I gave her my best puppy dog eyes. She rolled her eyes but smiled. Sure. My name's Shanice. I would have never guessed that stealing a piece of chicken would lead to my very first sleepover. That night, Shanice and I bonded over cheesy rom-coms and raided her fridge like there was no tomorrow. And let me tell you, I ate all the chicken my tummy could hold. Best night ever. And we've been joined at the hip ever since. I finally had a real person to practice my debating skills. And I even taught Shanice how to play chess. And on weekends, I went with her to the animal shelter to help the animals find their forever homes. It felt good giving love to the animals who didn't have it, something I had always craved for. I saw so much of myself in them, overlooked. Hey boy, I know you'll find a home where you're loved and cared for. You see, my parents never made me feel truly seen, but with the animals, I could give them the love I never got. At least in some way, I could make their world a little better, even if mine still felt like it was falling apart. That connection shaped so much of who I was, but everything shifted when Shanice and I hit high school. I won countless debates, math, and science fair competitions. I wasn't the most popular girl at school, but at least with Shanice's help, I had started making friends. Until my parents tried to totally ruin my life. Guy and gals, buckle up. This one's gonna knock your socks off. Okay, so Mom decided to prank Dad, right? Not the bad part. She decided to do it on a live stream. You know, like those cringe-worthy moments people do for views. Anyway, Mom set up the camera in the kitchen, and when Dad walks in, it's like a scene from a nightmare. Honey, we won $20 million in the lottery!
We did? Oh, that's amazing! Now I don't have to sell Renee's farts to pay for her college.
Yup, you heard that right. My dad was seriously talking about selling my farts on the internet to fund my college tuition. When I watched that live, I almost died. Like I couldn't breathe. This was it. My life had peaked in embarrassment. Why, oh why do my parents exist just to embarrass me? But babe, you know your mom's lives usually get like, what, 5 people max? But within 24 hours, that live had 500,000 views. 500,000! That's 500,000 people laughing at my misery. If I didn't act fast, my name would be Fart Girl forever. Future obliterated. Crushes vaporized from existence. College apps. Okay, this wasn't just a crisis. It was full-on social Armageddon. So that weekend, I went full-on makeover mode, ditched the geeky glasses, dyed my hair, and even got a tattoo. When I stepped into the school hallway, Shanice literally stopped in her tracks. Renee, what is this? What are you wearing? I struck a pose. This is the new me. Time to make a name for myself. And that's how I turned into, well, this. After Mrs. B's class, Shanice was absolutely livid. She stormed up to me, shooting death glares. Renee, what is wrong with you? Why do you want to be one of those walking bimbos with no brains? I raised an eyebrow, crossing my arms. I'm jealous much? Because last I checked, I'm the most popular girl in school now. She rolled her eyes. Yeah, and you're also the most delinquent. Trust me, it's not a compliment. Hey, it's gotten me everything I've ever wanted. Friends and attention from literally everyone. No, it hasn't, because your parents still don't care about you. I blinked, stunned, my mind racing. Part of me wanted to shout back, but another part deep down was feeling something I hated. Maybe she was right. I snapped, my anger exploding like a pressure cooker that had finally hit its limit. You stupid piece of... I slapped Shanice, and before my hand even dropped to my side, she lunged at me. We collided like a storm, our fists flying and hair tangling as we went at it like wild animals, until my new friends pulled me away from Shanice. As I stormed away trying to rein in my anger, I wasn't paying attention to where I was going and slammed right into someone. I stumbled back, but strong arms caught me before I could fall. It was Aaron, the rich new transfer student. Our faces were way too close, and OMG, he smelled amazing!
I got you, pretty lady.
And before I could even think about it, I was kissing Aaron. I swear for like a split second, he was totally frozen, but then he kissed me back. Was Aaron cute? Heck yes! Did I actually like him enough to kiss him? Nah. But since Shanice was totally crushing on him, this seemed like the best revenge. And I was practically living for it. It wasn't long before the word of our kiss traveled to school, and every time Shanice saw me in the hallway, she'd shoot me a death glare. And shortly after, Aaron and I began dating. Woohoo! Yet, I still couldn't get Shanice's words out of my mind. Your parents still don't care about you. Over the next few weeks, Aaron showered me with fancy dates and designer clothes. And unlike Shanice, he never judged me. Like this one time, I snatched all the teacher's car keys, swapped the tops, and watched them lose it trying to figure out which key went with which car. Hilarious. Another time, I swapped their pens with empty ones and they spent ages scribbling like they were summoning magic. And Aaron couldn't stop laughing. One evening, Aaron and I went to a rave with a bunch of friends at an old warehouse, and it was so much fun. That was until the police showed up and everyone scattered. Aaron grabbed my hand and we bolted, but of course my heel got stuck in a stupid crack and I went down hard. Aaron, wait! But he ran off. He actually left me. I couldn't believe it. About 1 hour later, those of us who got caught, the police were super stern with us, warning us of the dangers of partying in condemned buildings before calling our parents. Everyone else's parents were worried sick, asking if we were okay. But when mine showed up, my dad tried to sell a half-eaten donut to a cop, and Mom gave me this disgusted look.
You know, if you try that ginger cleanse I told you about, it might clear up that giant zit on your forehead.
Seriously? This proved it. Shanice was right. My parents didn't care about me. I needed to make things right with Shanice. After all, she was my best friend. So the next day I went looking for Shanice to apologize about our little fight, but when I went there, I froze from what I saw. Shanice was kissing Aaron! Shanice! My heart shattered in 1,000 directions from the betrayal I felt. Shanice pushed Aaron away from her. Renee, wait! It's not what you think! Not what I think? I was practically shaking because Aaron didn't look one bit sorry for what he did. You're literally standing there making out with my boyfriend and you're telling me it's not what I think? I was angry, no doubt about that, but underneath the anger was something else, something raw and hurt. Was I mad because Aaron kissed Shanice, or was it because I felt like I'd never be enough for anyone? You know what? The both of you can go straight to hell! Right then, I knew I didn't need anyone. I was done with everyone. Whether I was the sweet, nerdy girl or the popular rebel, it didn't matter. People always treated me like garbage. It was like no matter what, I ended up hurt. And that hit hard, like really hard. Over the next few months, I worked my butt off and graduated a year early and got into college, ready to leave it all behind. I packed up, moved out of state, and started fresh, away from all the drama. I changed my number, deleted every social media account, and blocked the past out. You'd think in college I'd study chemistry or something, right? But no. After everything, I wanted to know what really made people tick. So I dove into psychology. I had to understand why people were the way they were, especially the ones who hurt me. About a year later, I was heading back to my dorm after class when I looked up and saw a crowd of guys surrounding someone.
Old man, you're trying to sell us phones that don't even work.
And that's when I saw him, my dad. My heart dropped. One of the guys had his collar shaking him like a soda can, and Dad looked like he was ready to pop. My dad's eyes met mine.
Renee, wait!
But I didn't stop. No way. I just kept walking, confused and angry, wondering what he was even doing here. I didn't stop until I was safely locked in my dorm room, hands shaking. What the heck, Dad? What the actual heck? Over the next few days, I snuck around campus like some kind of undercover agent. But then one morning, I heard Dad's voice. He sounded desperate.
Please, have you seen her? Her mother's really sick and we have to find her.
I froze. Mom was sick? My heart was pounding in my chest and everything felt like it was about to fall apart. I ran over to Dad, totally panicked. Dad, what's wrong with Mom? What Dad said next left me shook.
She's in the hospital. Renee, people teased her about her weight all through childhood. It hurt her more than anyone knew. In high school, she started binge eating, hoping to lose the weight, and that's when everything fell apart.
I couldn't breathe.
But after some therapy meds, she seemed fine, even though she's still obsessed with those smoothies of hers. But when you left, everything spiraled out of control.
The words hit me like a ton of bricks. Mom wasn't a bad mom. She was a struggling mom. She was sick. I felt my stomach twist. I wanted to scream, but instead, tears rolled down my cheeks. That's when Dad did something I never thought he would. He pulled me into a hug. And oh my God, I lost it. I started crying. No, sobbing, like my heart was being ripped out. I just couldn't stop. It was like all the pain from the past, the anger, the confusion, it just spilled out of me.
Everything's gonna be okay.
I'll come with you to see Mom, I told him between sobs. After speaking to the dean, I was given a few days leave, and I left that evening with Dad to see Mom. That night, when I walked into Mom's room, she looked so fragile, and I felt my eyes mist up again, and I ran to hug her. Mom, I'm so sorry.
I missed you, sweetheart.
I missed you too. After chatting with Mom for a bit, she drifted off to sleep, and Dad looked at me.
When you left, why did you change your number? Why didn't you reach out to us?
My cheeks flushed. You and Mom have done nothing but humiliate me. It didn't matter what I did, I was never enough. All she cared about was her smoothies, and all you cared about was sales. Dad looked at me with a thoughtful expression on his face.
I'm sorry. I guess I was overwhelmed with everything and I used my sales as a means of escape, to cope. I hadn't realized how much it affected you. I am proud of you and the young lady you've become.
Thanks, Dad.
If you allow me and your mom, we'd love to work on ourselves so we can be better parents for you.
I hugged Dad. I'd love that. When Dad and I left the hospital, Dad ordered me a pizza and then dropped me off at home. I shoved the pizza onto the kitchen table and sprinted upstairs to freshen up, but when I came back downstairs ready to devour that cheesy goodness, poof, 2 slices were gone. Gone! What kind of pizza-snatching ninja was living in my house? Seems like someone forgot they were a chicken-snatching ninja, and I'm just here to return the favor. I spun around, and there she was, Shanice, standing right behind me, stuffing the last slice of pizza into her mouth. Shanice, I'm so sorry for not listening to you that day. You should be, because he's a jerk. That boy would flirt with even a street sign if it had on a skirt. You deserve so much better. Honestly, I went out with him to make you jealous. After saying it out loud, I felt kind of embarrassed. Well, you saved me some heartache because, who kisses another girl while you're in a relationship? So not boyfriend material. I felt like the weight of everything was just lifting off my shoulders. I really missed you, bestie. And I'm sorry for everything. I really missed you too. Best friends? Best friends for life.